America leads the world in medicine development. It matters. We get new medicines first, nearly 3 years faster. 5 million Americans go to work because we make medicines here at home. And not relying on other countries keeps us safe. But China is racing to overtake us. Will we let them, or will we choose to stay ahead? When America leads, America cures. Let's tell Washington to keep us in the lead.
Learn how at americacures.com. Paid for by Pharma.
It's not just something you made. It's the privilege that you get to work with your hands. It's building something that serves a purpose. Proof that you have the grit to keep going. At Timberland, we understand you take your craft seriously, and we do too, which is why our products are built to the highest quality. We put in the work so you can perfect yours, with purpose in every detail and crafted with intention. Timberland, built on craft. Visit Timberland.com to shop.
From San Diego, California, this is the Frug Life Podcast, the show that teaches you how to save, invest, and earn money. Now here's your host, Mr. Frugal himself, Ricky Hershey.
Welcome to the Frug Life. I've been reading this book by Scott Galloway, The Algebra of Wealth. And in it, he actually likes to talk about Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, and he likes to talk about Stoicism a lot, which is something I talk about from time to time as well. The definition in the dictionary of Stoicism is the endurance of pain or hardship without the display of feelings. Now that doesn't sound very fun. The description AI has given to me is living in a cold room and eating unseasoned beans to be virtuous. But that's not all. In the world of finance, Stoicism is about clarity. It's the realization that you only have absolute control over one thing, your own mind. Negative things are going to happen. Your car will break down. The market will dip. Your boss might be a jerk. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control these events, we can change how they impact our happiness. I think this also reminds me of the work of Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning. Frankl was in a concentration camp during World War II and faced some of the grim and most terrible conditions any human has faced. And to probably misquote it, the one thing that the Nazis couldn't control was his mind. So, pivoting from my original script, while there's hardship in life, while things may be difficult for you at a time, you have the power, the ability to control how you react to these events. In a more benign example, think about public speaking. To one person, it's a nightmare, and to another, it's a thrill. That act of speaking is about the same, but the positivity or negativity of it is something that we create in our minds. And likewise, there may be events involving money that evoke those feelings. You know, as I prepare my taxes right now, it sometimes evokes some negative feelings, right? Like the feeling like I'd rather be doing something else than doing my taxes right now. Or as I work on my taxes and watch the amount of money I'm either going to pay or get back switch as I make different line adjustments to my taxes, that could potentially make you nervous. But we can control the way that those events impact us. Scott Galloway talks about Stoicism as a form of resilience. Ultimately, there's a lot of emotions that are associated with personal finance. And if we can control our emotions, we can control our finances better. Likewise, if we are a person that can control our impulses, which often are focused on consumerism, right? We have impulses to buy new things. We have impulses to buy stuff that we don't actually need. And if we can control those impulses and be frugal, we will have a better grasp of our finances. One thing Galloway talks about is that if you can be the person who doesn't need the newest iPhone to feel successful, you've already won. You aren't enduring pain, you're exercising power over your own impulses. I want to do one editorial note here. This is what AI says that Scott Galloway says, so I apologize for any inaccuracy. A quick Google search yields that he probably said something to that effect, though. All right, let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. Welcome back. The idea for this episode came from me. I fed it to AI to give me some ideas of what I should do. Ultimately, I don't think I used hardly any of the materials AI gave me, although I used it as a jumping off point. Anyways, let me jump back to my original script before I fed it into AI and talk about some of those talking points. So I recently read a book on Stoicism. I think I'm referring to Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and listened to a Motley Fool podcast on the subject. Now, if you read the articles by the Motley Fool, or more accurately, the articles that are published on the Motley Fool, or more likely, avoid those, you might be judging me. But their podcast is good, and it's different from my experience on their website. It's really well made and has some thoughtful analysis. So this reflection on their show may be pretty influenced by that. Stoicism teaches you that you have control of your mind. Negative things may happen to you, but you can choose how to respond to them. And actually saying negative things might be missing the point. We can't control what happens to us, but we can change how it impacts our happiness. And this is sounding very similar to the first half of the episode. Oh, and you know that example I gave about public speaking? That was actually my example. I thought AI came up with that. And that was the end of my script, I guess. I didn't give AI very much to go on. Maybe that's why it kind of came back with something that wasn't so great. Alright, I think I'm dangerously close to making an episode of Ricky Rambles at this point, although it was scripted originally to some degree. And in case you don't know, Ricky Rambles is my other podcast. I'll maybe link it down below, where I talk about things on an unscripted basis. Sometimes involving money, sometimes not. It's kind of similar to the Frug Life, except that it's unscripted, off the cuff, and rambly. Which this episode, like I was saying, may have been a little close to that. Alright, let's take care of a few administrative items. If you didn't see, two people won actually, the 2025 listener survey. Thank you, Jeff and Nick, for participating. Nick has already got his lunch from Mr. Frug. I have to figure out how to get to Texas to see Jeff, which I don't really go to Texas often, so that's something exciting to take care of. Some other quick personal notes. We have a fun episode coming out next week on side hustles. By next week, of course, I mean next month, because the show is monthly, not weekly, even though I constantly forget that. And lastly, totally unrelated to the Frug Life, Mrs. Frug and I are expecting we're going to have a son later this year. Maybe that should be a whole topic in and of itself, or more likely I'll cover it on Ricky Rambles, because it's not really a finance topic, although there are some financial implications of having a child. Alright, thank you everyone for listening this month I should say. Sorry I was running behind schedule. I had ideas of what I wanted to do, and I don't know, kind of ran out of time. I guess it also didn't help that I was in Japan quite a bit of February. Oh, right. Which, in a future episode of the show, I think you will see me talking about the cost of my Japan trip. So be on the lookout for that. Not next month, but the month after that, potentially. Alright, thanks again for listening. Have a great month. And as always, stay frugal.